Hi, my love. Before we jump into the reading, I want to let you know about my new masterclass in manifestation, where we manifest using your intuition. So, you've probably heard about taking inspired action. Well, I take it a little bit further and teach you how to really tune into your soul, to dream up these visions, and to make it super easy to follow your intuition in inspired action. And so you can find it in the description below. It's about 30 minutes. You also get a really fun EFT tapping bonus with it. So if you want more clarity and manifestations coming more easily to you, I would love to see you in my masterclass. Let's jump right into the reading. Hi, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do a lot of these fun pick a cards, channeled messages, but also I have a podcast about manifestation, becoming more of who you really are, trusting your intuition. Today we are going to just do some channeled messages. I felt inspired, like I picked these cards for myself, but then I was like, why not turn this into a pick card? So it's going to be a little bit different, this one, than the ones that I've done before. I usually don't do this. I usually like pick a subject. So just feel whatever card you're most drawn to, and I will give you a channeled message for that. I feel like there is just some information wanting to come through about manifestation, about your soul plan, like if you're on the right path, what needs your attention. I feel like that's going to be kind of the message. So maybe I'll pick a fun title around that. So take your time now to choose your pile. Again, thank you so much for being here. And then you can go to the timestamps below for your channeled message. Hi, my lovely pile number ones. This is going to be your reading. So as I said in the intro, it is going to be just a channeled message around like where you are right now, what you need to pay attention to. Also, I'm feeling that it's going to be about manifestation. You've got the Five of Wands, the Hierophant. I think we're just going to start here. Okay, so first off with Joyce, the ultimate creator. I don't know if you're aware of how your energy is really influential for your day. So if you are not doing the things that bring you joy, that is going to flow into the rest of your day, right? Whereas if you focused on the little things that gave you joy, like your favorite drink or smiling to a stranger or just really doing the thing that you love to do when it comes to your work or where you live, like if you choose joy over and over again, that will be attracting more of that joy, right? And I feel like you are figuring that out. I also feel like you are figuring out what brings you joy. And then with the Five of Wands, I feel like you have this inner conflict about if you're worthy of this much joy. I feel like this is like a common theme with a lot of us who are choosing ourselves more. Whereas before we might have like learned how to make other people happy, people please, or like conform to these societal standards, which is what we all learned growing up, right? It's kind of about unlearning those parts of us that are keeping us small or stuck in places where we don't really feel good. And so as you are discovering like, oh, this really brings me joy, or I am actually worthy of more joy in my life, it can be this inner conflict of like, how am I doing that? How should I like tell other people about this so they like won't get mad or something? I feel like it's this inner conflict where you feel like you need to explain wanting to have more joy in your life, which sounds silly, but I definitely had this in one point of my life where I discovered the law of attraction, and that the more like joy I am, the more good and fun and beautiful things I'm manifesting. It's so simple actually, and so many of us don't realize that and are maybe like playing the victim a little bit too much, whereas you're now figuring out like the more joy I have, the more joy I create. And so staying in this victim mentality is not going to bring me closer to my goals in any way. But being around people who don't believe the same thing, it can be a little bit conflicting, because as you are figuring out how to step out of that, yeah, it kind of feels like you need to explain this sudden change within you. That's also what I'm feeling with Hierophant. Like, you want to be responsible, you want to like get everyone on the same page as you are. Maybe you like learn some really cool stuff and you're like, everyone should know about this. Why aren't other people like figuring this out as well? But you want to be smart about it. And it's kind of this inner conflict of allowing yourself to have more joy, allowing yourself to explore more of these things that you are interested in that might not be what other people are interested in as well, or would choose for themselves, or are ready for to explore. I feel like you are just opening up this whole new chapter for yourself, where you are interested in like maybe the law of attraction, or just personal development, where you are creating something better for yourself. I love this conditioning. Yeah, it's the inner conflict of the conditioning that you have been brought up with, and you are allowing yourself to step out of that. You're allowing yourself to see like, oh, I might have felt like these sheep before, but actually I'm a freaking lion. Abundance. Yeah, this is kind of corresponding with this, like, joy is the ultimate creator. And this is like about the conditioning. Because the more joy you have, the more abundance you create, the more you explore your interests, like the more abundant you become. You get more wisdom, you gain more experiences, and that will ultimately bring you closer to what you want to manifest, because it just becomes easier. Okay, so I got some other ones because this is just the same. Courage, past lives, consciousness. Interesting. Yeah, because we need some courage in order to go on this new path, to explore this. You are putting on the brave shoes to explore a new path that other people around you haven't had the chance to explore yet, or aren't ready for, or just not interested in. That's so interesting. I feel like the people in your life, as I believe, like as we reincarnate, if that's not something you believe in, like take what resonates, leave the rest, right? I feel like the people who we reincarnate with are usually people who we have past lives with before. And as you are becoming aware of your creative powers, like you are getting out of the matrix, out of the victim mentality, and you are focusing on what brings you joy and really listening to your intuition, which is like you are silencing the voices of society, of what other people think, how you should behave, like the conditioning, right? And that is scary for some people, because you are now being your own leader, kind of. You gain this consciousness of like what it is that you want and who you want to be. And that makes you more powerful. But that takes some courage, because those people who you have a really strong bond with can also feel this shift within you. I feel like that's why you have the card of courage and consciousness. As you are shifting into a new way of being, slowly you are becoming more of that lion, which you've always been, and those people around you are also that lion, right? But you're awakening to that potential of shedding those old skin, shedding old ways of being that just keep you in this one place, right? The more that you become yourself, the more conscious you become, and the more you get to tune into your truth, which means like doing the things that really bring you joy, speaking up for yourself, speaking your truth, like wearing what you want to be wearing, going where you want to be going, not waiting for anyone to do the things that you really want to do. That is so empowering for others to see, but that's also really triggering. And the more conscious you become, the less you will be distracted by other people's manipulation or like what they would like you to do for them. You just become more powerful. And so these people that you really have a strong connection with are probably also inspired by you now living more your truth, but they can also be really triggered, right? Or really, they feel like they need to become the lion as well because you are doing that. It's like we're sending out one type of energy and now your energy has changed and that activates something within them as well. This is not by accident. I feel like the people who are triggered by that need to be triggered by that in order to explore for themselves what that means for them. That doesn't mean that you have to do anything about that, right? This is your journey. And it already takes a lot of courage to do this. You don't have to go out and change other people's behaviors and lead them to this path, right? It's just you are already activating something within them by doing this. That's all you need to do. And those who want to know more will ask you, like then you can elaborate, of course. But you are already setting things in motion here. And I feel like you already know who this is about. There will also be people who will not be like really bothered by this. They might just look at you with curiosity and that's it. Or they might it's so funny. Some people in my life are like, if I'm telling them about something that I've learned, because like I go through these shifts and changes and I just love manifestation and working through outdated belief systems and whatnot. And so sometimes something comes up and like my friends will ask like, okay, how are you? And I'm just like this and this and this I discovered about my life. And now I'm like in this different space and I feel like this. And I only do this with the people who are like curious, right? Those who do not want to get into that or cannot hold space for me in that way, I don't talk about that, right? Because that's not safe for me either. So some people are then just listening and don't really say much about it, but you see them like processing, and then later, like maybe like months later or weeks later, they're like, yeah, and then you told me about that and I kind of experienced something similar, or they kind of apply it to a different part of their lives and they can understand the concept of it, right? That's kind of what you're doing as well. And you might not even notice that you're doing that, but some people will never talk about it, but you will see if they like listen to it. And you see those wheels turning in their mind, right? That's beautiful as well. And like, even if they don't do anything with it, that's fine too. Like, just like this, only take what resonates, leave the rest. I feel like everything that needs to be activated within them, like remembered, when it comes to how they can also live, that will happen. But just leading by example, that is what you're doing right now, and that's enough. You don't have to worry about explaining yourself or teaching them or leading them somewhere to better understand this. I don't feel like that has any use, actually, because especially if you are just stepping into this, like you also have the card of courage. That is also a big step, right? And maybe you have already gone on this journey for a long time. I still feel like you will be inspired to go outside of this circle of these people and meet people who are on the same path as you. The lovers. That's funny because that is like people coming together who... Oh, and then you also have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm seeing within this is like the people who are not really in the same place as you. Five of Pentacles is like scarcity, right? Walking away or having a really hard time. Or victim stories, basically. So the people who are still in this, who have not been awakened, you will activate them by leading by example. You don't have to explain your choosing joy path. They will just learn by looking at you, right? But the people who, like, there are people out there, and I already feel like so much joy from this pile, like from this group of finding people outside of this community that do get it, that will feel like soulmates, because you can just level, and that will feel really good. It will feel like coming home, and you will just be able to talk about these things like easily. With these old people, it's more like you have to explain a lot of background information, like to get them out of the matrix, kind of. And that might be a bit of a stretch, right? Because there are so many like constructs, theories, and ways of which you can like talk about this, and we all believe different things, right? It's just about being more of who you actually are and looking outside of conditioning. That's kind of it. But yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. You can try, but probably have already tried, and then you see those people with like those wide eyes, like, okay, what are you like trying to tell me here? What is the meaning of all of this, right? And so don't look for companionship or like a really good conversation about this within your circle, because like they're just in this victim mentality still, and like everyone has free will, right? If they are in that place, that's probably because they chose to be that way, right? So you don't have to like get them out of there, because we all have our own timing. And so you are choosing your joy, you are becoming more abundant, and that is beautiful already. Just focus on that, and then focus on the people who are already doing that as well. And that's going to feel so satisfying. I have my own membership where I have this place for people to connect. And like we talk about a lot of this stuff. We do ceremonies together, a lot of other pick-up cards and stuff. And I also am a part of other memberships and groups as well. And that just feels so good to be understood and to not have to explain yourself, for people to do the work as well, to like uncover their conditioning and letting it go and being this loving light, choosing growth. And that's so amazing. So I would highly recommend like looking at spaces where you can find people like you, where you can learn more, and for people who can just share you on, right? Because the more joy that you experience, it's so fun if people can celebrate that with you, and you deserve to be celebrated. Your joy deserves to be celebrated. And you don't deserve people who are just making you feel bad about living with more joy. That's bullshit, right? But a lot of people cannot celebrate you because they feel bad about themselves if they see someone else experience joy. And that's a sad reality. Like, I wish that wasn't the truth, but some people just are not able to see past that it's not about them. It's just like you are experiencing joy. Like we all experience emotions and hardships and successes, and yeah. So you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to feel joy all the freaking time. Joy is your birthright, honey. Yeah, I'm just really excited for you to explore this more and to find people who can celebrate with you, who get this, who want this for themselves as well, and who know like if I celebrate someone else, that just shows that I'm like able to hold space and be on the same level. Inner compass and familiar hearts. Such a cute card. Inner compass. If it's hard right now to really follow your heart because other people are not celebrating you and are questioning everything that you're doing, following that joy, it can feel really lonely. But I also feel like you know and have experienced that following your heart is so rewarding and just feels so good. And that's because even though you cannot see it right now, continuing this journey will give you so much blessings. That's kind of what you're feeling right now. It feels so good because where you are going is kind of hinting at you. Your intuition is hinting about how good it can become if you continue this journey. And the more that you follow your inner compass, even though it's hard, the more true to you you are becoming, and that also feels really good, right? And I also want to encourage you to keep expressing that true version of you. Like I said, to be that example just by doing. And again, you don't have to explain anything if you are doing what feels good. We all deserve that, right? The more you are being your true self, the more you are honing in on that joy, on your passions, the more people that do the same will find you, and your inner compass, your intuition will also lead you to these people, because you are in this frequency of doing that, and what we are sending out we can attract back into our lives, right? We will be able to recognize the same kind of frequency, and so that will feel normal. And so that way I also feel like you will have already been doing this, and those people are like right around the corner. That's kind of what I'm feeling. You might have already like made a new friend recently, and you don't even know that they are like into the same stuff as well. It kind of feels like that. So don't worry about that too much. I feel like those people, what I'm hearing is like they really want to be friends with you too. And so it won't feel hard. It's just like, yeah, we are going to find each other. That's just it. Temple of Light. There's something really good coming from this. I feel like you are stepping into a new chapter where you are creating something because of this. Like, because you are following your joy. Heart liberations. And that will make you feel really free, really powerful. It's like I'm letting go of all the stuff that doesn't resonate, and I'm building something really beautiful that sparks that joy, that makes me be able to be in that energy of joy more, like all the time. And I also hear like the hard work wasn't for nothing, because like you have been in this victim mentality as well. Like, you know, that also served you in one time of a period of your life, right? And you are able to understand these people who are still there, who are listening to that conditioning and staying in that. But you also know why you are fighting free from that, and you will get to this place of like, I'm so glad that I didn't listen. I'm so glad that I stayed the course with listening to my inner compass, doing the things that make me more joyful, freeing myself of the old fears and whoever was holding me back. And I also feel like kind of this fiery energy, maybe not angry, but like almost like I'm so fed up with like that old life of mine, because you are now being in this different space, like, and you are like looking back at that period of your life and you're like, that didn't serve me at all. And I'm so free. I'm so free. I'm so glad that I'm now free. Living library. There's so much that you have already learned and that you're learning right now that is so valuable, and you are seeing more and more where this path is leading towards, where this path is taking you. Yeah, it's just really exciting. It's overwhelming at times as well, because you are leaving behind something that has been a big part of your life. So moving into this new way of being can be heavy at times, especially if other people have known us a certain way and now we are shifting into this new state of being, and that can be felt, it can be triggering. Staying true to ourselves can be hard sometimes, because we might want things to be easier and just like not do the work, right? But you know that it's worth it, and you want this, you want like to find your people, and you will feel that it is so worth it. Like, you are creating a new type of community. Maybe you're starting your own business to teach what you have learned, or you are creating your own art, or moving somewhere, or you're just a more carefree human being, and that just feels so magical and so rewarding. And yes, there is also this sad part about it, of letting go of the old, and it's just all part of the journey. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that, but like leaving the old versions of us behind and the old people is pretty heartbreaking sometimes. And like we don't talk about it because like the other side is so rewarding and beautiful, and just focusing on that kind of lifts the heaviness of it. But I feel like I just need to talk about this pain that you might also be feeling that comes with leaving old versions of us behind, and just acknowledging that, and not to like close your eyes for it and to be like, okay, moving on, we are going to this next chapter, moving on, but to stand still and be sad about it. That like that's part of life too, and you get to be sad about it, and it also served you in many ways, right? So it's also important that you don't shame yourself for the way that you've been. You also don't shame other people who are choosing to still be in that place, because it's also serving a purpose, right? The more people who are living from the heart instead of the head, that also means more exposure, more judgment, and yeah, because you are living a little bit differently, and so people will be triggered by that. So if you don't want to be triggered, you shouldn't like do that, right? So that serves a purpose, and it's okay to close your eyes, to stay asleep for a little bit. But you're done with that, right? You are moving on to bigger and better things, and that can only happen if you, yeah, it just feels way better to just listen to your heart and to lead with love and follow that inner compass. It just feels so much better. You know this as well. So yeah, it's beautiful who you are becoming. I just feel this really wise, powerful, loving human. So yeah, I just want to tell you I'm proud of you for walking this path. It's not always easy. You've been doing so well. It's so worth it. And I love for you that you have been feeling more joy and you're experiencing what brings you joy more. You so deserve it. I really hope that is the message that I can give you today. Like, don't explain why you want something. If it lives in your heart, you deserve to experience it. That is a manifestation wanting to be born. And everyone who has a heart's desire, even if it's just the smallest thing of like, oh, I really like a green smoothie, I want to have that today. Like, you get to have your green smoothie if you want your green smoothie. To like, I want to record my own album. That doesn't matter if it's just a wish that your heart makes. Quoting Disney, that is just good enough of a reason to get it. You don't have to do anything to be worthy of it. It's the same thing. I always give the example of like, if you saw a baby, you wouldn't think like, oh, they don't deserve their dreams because they have this history and they look like this and they learned this and whatnot. You would give the baby everything it wants, right? If it's healthy for them. Because it's just this pure soul. And then we go through all this conditioning and we make up these rules about what we deserve and what we don't deserve and what is right and what isn't right. But at the core, we're just that pure soul and we haven't done anything wrong or right. It's just like we still deserve the world. And so I want you to think about yourself as that like pure loving soul who just wants what they want, as we all want what we want, right? And what we want from a soul's perspective, right? Because we can like want a lot of things because our mind makes up these plans and these dreams for us because of the conditioning. Like we look around and we see other people doing stuff and we're like, oh, we should probably do that as well because so-and-so has this, right? And they look good because blah, 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 blah. I mean like the real like heart's desires that feel really good. Like your intuition nudging you, like your inner compass, telling you like, oh, I would actually love to explore this, or I'm curious to learn about this, or how is so and so doing? This new person that I just met, like, kind of feels like a match. Maybe we should like meet and see if we have a connection, or like those are the nudges of our intuition that just tell us what feels really good, what feels joyful, and that just, those are little breadcrumbs that lead us to even more of that, right? That is that joy. And it can be little joy, it can be big joy. It's just all part of what our soul wants from us, our joy. Our joy is just our soul whispering to us like, yes, let's go this way. This feels really good. And then if you keep following that, you will fall in love with life even more, and just follow these breadcrumbs that take you to even more of what feels joyful, because you can now trust that voice, right? And so you can follow it, and you will start to see these opportunities more that feel really good with you, that resonate with you. And you will fall in love with life more, and you will fall in love with the people that you meet on the way. This is such a beautiful reading. It's so fun. So sending you a lot of love. Happy exploring. Feeling into your joy. You are worthy of it, my love. So, so, so much. You are so worthy of it. And I hope to see you in another reading. Have a lovely rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you soon. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to look at manifestation, like where you are right now on your path, what you need to pay attention to. Just some random channeled messages. I said in the intro, like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I just felt called to start channeling something. So we'll see what happens. I'm very excited about it because the last pile was like gold. I loved those messages. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to shuffle some cards for you and then just channel what comes through. Also, thank you so much for the support, the likes, the comments. I love hearing from you. So let's see, we have the card of Heart Liberations, and then I am the loving energy of the universe. Okay, so I'm feeling it's kind of a tired, I feel like you are tired right now, as you have been moving through some changes where you had to maybe wait for what you wanted to manifest, and I feel like you might have let some dreams go and you are making space for some new ones to come in. So I'm not sure what happened, like maybe something fell through or was different than you expected it to be, and that made you like have to let go or maybe step up for yourself, which would be why you are tired right now. Or it's just like going through these changes of learning new things about what you want, what you don't want, and letting go of past versions. Like, that's pretty tiring, right? I've been doing some letting go of old patterns, shifting my belief system, doing a lot of EFT tapping. I love that stuff. I also have a membership where I do EFT with you and some other manifestation, call better, bigger things into our lives, right? To be ready for it, to start believing that we're worthy right now. That shit, like, it's not easy. We know why we're doing it, right? Because the more that you clear the space of what you think is possible, the more possibilities can come into your life, and that's very exciting, right? But yeah, you've been shifting. You've been believing more in yourself, but that also means like letting go of past hurt, past versions, stepping into a new phase in your life. And it's like you need to reassess or catch your breath. That's kind of what I'm feeling. But all in all, it does feel really good. It might feel a little bit like you're questioning yourself or your life, like where you are at right now. I also feel like you might be, that's for sure what I'm feeling. I feel like you are now like waiting for your manifestation to come in. Like you feel you've done the work, you feel like it's coming. It has changed a little bit, which is why you're like tired. But you are waiting. So it is kind of this waiting period, but I feel like being tired is because you've been going through so many changes, and so it can't help but manifest now, right? But it's like, okay, where is it? Like, I trust. I am the loving energy of the universe, which means like everything is possible. I am the creator, so like what I want will come. It's just divine timing. Inner sanctum and magnetic heart. Ooh, I love this. This is kind of what I've been saying. It's like you are feeling good about yourself now that you have more clarity around what it is that you really want, because maybe other things fell away, right? So you have to go back into your heart and feel like, okay, what now? And then you decide on that, and that's kind of what you've decided on right now, right? A magnetic heart. So now that you have decided, you are moving in that direction, and nothing can like really stop you, because you've already decided. You've already been questioning yourself a lot and life and what you want out of it, and like what you really want to manifest, doing the work to feel worthy and ready, and like there's no stopping you. It's just about this beautiful space where you get to explore, enjoy your life, and then it will just come in, right? And so maybe you have to catch your breath because of doing the work around this. And now that you trust that it's coming, it's like, okay, I'm letting go now. And let's see like what I can do in the meantime. That's kind of what I'm feeling. And that's beautiful. Like that is exactly where the universe wants you to be, right? In that space of allowing and just having fun in the meantime, because you trust and you know that it will come to you no matter what. Yeah, you've been having to decide between some things. I feel like it has to do with someone else as well. Like you didn't want to let the other person down, but you felt like, okay, I need to do this for me. So maybe you have, this is very specific, but I feel like you might have broken up like in a partnership, or yeah, just something that you knew you had to do for yourself. And so that person could like mean a lot to you, but like the life that you want to create and how you want to feel and what is important to you is more important than following someone else's path, right? And so sometimes we don't want to compromise, and we need to make the decision for ourselves. And okay, I wanted to say something, but then these fell out, so so maybe this has been like hard, but I also feel like this is past energy. And I feel like during this season of your life where you let something go, or you had to like change the dream or where you were headed, I feel like there are friends who like helped you through this period, who are showing you like, okay, there is more out there, there's more possible for you. Let's do this together, or like get your mind off of things, right? So maybe like if this was a romantic relationship, I feel like your girlfriends might be like, okay, let's just go out and have fun, right? And just focus on what's next. Oh, I love this. The Magician is about manifesting. It's like you are the creator. You get to decide what it is that you want, and then you just get to have it. You can manifest anything, right? It's about aligning with those possibilities, opening yourself up to the possibilities, and to move in that direction, to become that person who has it already, who is a vibrational match to what it is that you desire. And then you also have the Four of Wands, which means like a positive outcome. Like, I feel like whatever you are wanting is definitely coming. Like, there's no way around it. It's coming. It has to. It can't help but manifest. And I love that you have supportive friends that can help you keep the faith and see what else is possible out there, right? Because maybe you had this picture of how it had to be, and then that crumbled and fell away. And then for you to choose a new dream, that takes courage, because it also, like, maybe the reason that you're tired is just because you are mourning an old dream or an old version of yourself, which is kind of the message I got for pile 1 as well. But I feel like that is what we are all kind of going through collectively. Old versions of us that are dying and then having to step up into new versions that align more with us and what our soul really desires. But it can be humbling, right? It can be so hard to finally let go and make that decision, and then to have this open space that needs to be filled again. Like, that is pretty scary. You also have the Ace of Swords, which means making some decisions that are fair, like finally making that decision. Okay, so what Spirit is telling me is like, you know what you want now. You have been in this space of like dreaming up a new plan and aligning with it. There will be something, or there might already be something that is bringing you closer to that goal. And it's like, okay, but it's also time to like take action now. You know that this is a good thing. So don't wait too long. Don't postpone it. And it might feel a little bit scary, or you're like, okay, am I really ready now? I just got out of this like in between space. But there is something that you can already take action on pretty soon, or which is already like in your space right now, but it might feel a little bit too soon because you are still a little bit tired, right? It's like, it's very interesting because I'm not feeling like this is going to bring your manifestation towards you. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this has to do with slow and steady building towards it, but I also feel like conclusions are within reach. Like, your manifestation is definitely coming, but there is something that needs your time and attention to patiently work towards. And I feel like this will bring in more of what it is that you want. It has kind of the same vibration, the same kind of energy that you want to be in order to attract what it is that you want. So it will look a little bit like your manifestation, or it will really like feel like how your manifestation would feel. And so taking action on this thing, and it might not seem like your manifestation, but you know that it's kind of the same kind of vibe or environment. I'm not sure like what this is, but aligning yourself with this, or just like working with this, saying yes to this, will get you used to this new like environment, or it's like you're placing yourself in this environment that makes you get used to what your manifestation would feel like. And so the more that you are already experiencing how it would feel, the more easy and natural it will feel if you do get your manifestation, because you're already kind of in that same space. I hope this makes sense, but it just aligns you to get closer to how you would like to feel if you got your manifestation, and you can already like start to feel that energy right now if you take this opportunity, which might not look like your manifestation, but it will get you closer to it because it kind of feels the same, and so you will get used to being in that energy. I hope that makes sense. The 10 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like doing this, taking this opportunity, will give you even more of what it is that you want, and it might not look exactly like how you pictured it, but it will give you so many more chances that will bring you closer to your dream life. I feel like this is going to give you more than what you dreamt of, and it might like give you your manifestation, but it will also give you more, like even more than that, or will show you that it can be even better than what you are dreaming up right now. Something like that. That's so cool. Yeah, like sometimes we get these opportunities, and then those opportunities will lead to other opportunities, and we will be like, oh, I didn't even think that that was possible for me, right? Or that people were able to do that, or yeah, that's so exciting. Like you get to explore here a little bit more. The Fool. Yeah, just to go in like blank and see like where this will take you, but also like take it seriously, see the value in it, because you are kind kind of receiving what you want already, but maybe in a different form. Clinging to the past. There is an old version of you who is not satisfied with this. Like your soul knows that this thing is a match, but because of that dream that you had in the past, that is also still occupying your mind. And I feel like you have let it go and you have shifted, right? As we talked about before in the reading. Patience. You're being asked to be patient with yourself as you are shifting now in this other direction that is kind of like that like really is aligning with you and what it is that you want, but it doesn't look like what your past version of you had pictured for themselves, if that makes sense. And I love that she's pregnant, right? Because the baby has to grow in the womb for 9 months, right? And so that takes a long time, but it is necessary for the baby to develop in the best way possible, right? And then in the meantime, you can get used to becoming a mom or a parent. But if that 9 months like didn't happen and you just suddenly got the baby like after conceiving it, like that would not be a good idea, right? Like preparing the baby room and learning about parenting and stuff like that is necessary for you to like be able to handle it all. It has a purpose. So be patient with yourself, because this whole process, like it may look like slow movement and like working towards something. You might not even like know why this feels good and why you are moving in this direction, because it doesn't look like what you thought you wanted. But I feel like it's going to turn out like so much better than you could ever imagine. And of course, like take what resonates, leave the rest. Because if something like isn't what you want, it doesn't look like what you want, like it doesn't look like what you want. I also feel like if you get an opportunity and it is not like your manifestation, it doesn't feel like how you want to feel, it's just a no, right? I can tell you like, oh, take this opportunity because it's going to lead to something better. But if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel good, it's not your manifestation. This is like an opportunity that feels like how you want to feel if you would manifest it. So you will feel within your whole being like, yes, go explore this opportunity. You might not even know why you are feeling like curious and joyful about it. But because you are feeling curious and joyful about it, that is your soul nudging you towards this certain path. It will feel joyful, it will feel easy, and it will feel like you are curious to explore this. It's not like, oh, I have to take this because Amber just told me that this will lead to even more good things. Like, no, you have to feel it within your whole body. You will know what this is. It might feel out of your comfort zone a little bit. But it's just a fun opportunity that gets you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but it is something that you really want to explore because it feels like how you would feel if you got the manifestation. I've just been repeating myself over and over again, but I just want this to make sense, so I hope it does. Guilt. Yeah. So you want these beautiful flowers, right? And so you're focused on working towards your manifestation. You're working towards your 4 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Cups, 10 of Cups moment. Like this is what you want, right? Feeling really good, manifestation is coming through. But because you have let something go, this might be a person, right? Or this like old dream that you had, like that is still lingering. That is that clinging onto the past. And so you know that you deserve your manifestation, and you do. You know why you made the choices that you made, because it's so worth it. It's your life, right? You get to decide how you want to live it, and you don't have to compromise. Like for sure, you don't have to compromise, but it might feel hard sometimes because it might feel like you are hurting someone else in the process. But this has already passed. I feel like this is already past energy. It's like, oh, another card fell out. I just recently did this tapping session, EFT, which is like reprogramming your subconscious to see more opportunities, to really get ready for it. And within that EFT, we let go of ghosts of the past. She said like, the people who we've let go might still kind of haunt us in our minds, like we heard their voices, or we would think back to memories, or what they would say, or what they would feel, or what they would think if like they knew this and this and this about it. But they're not physically there, they're just ghosts, basically. And so you're letting these ghosts kind of take over while you are really focused on the future, right? And creating this beautiful thing. Yeah, but just know that there are ghosts. They're not really there anymore. And so it deserves freedom from your mind as well. Celebration. Yeah, if that happens, would you look at that? Like, you deserve this. You deserve the support. You deserve these new possibilities and people who are showing you what else is possible. And you know this as well. That guilt, like, we're human. That's going to happen sometimes. And those past memories will come up. I would recommend doing some EFT tapping around that to let go, right, of the past. You can look within my membership. I also have some really fun workshops around that where we do it together to really step into this new version and to like be done with it. But yeah, it's natural. So if you get to reach out to friends, to ask for help, to like focus on what you are creating, what you are already doing right. And like, you are not a bad person, right, for choosing your dreams. That's beautiful. So don't feel guilty about that. You have a beautiful heart. You just want to create something good for yourself, and you're moving towards it. It's going to come. So it's a waste of time to feel guilty. If you feel guilty, just know that whatever's like happened had to happen for you to step into this new version. It was also just a lesson. And sometimes we teach other people that lesson while we are choosing ourselves, right? Just think about someone that you respect. They probably choose themselves as well, right? While also being kind to others, hopefully. But that just makes us respect others more, right? If they choose the best possible outcome for them and other people as well. And so this was also probably the best option if there was another person involved as well. Like, in the long run, it is the best decision. And yeah, otherwise it would have gone differently, right? So be proud of yourself for making difficult decisions. And you are so well underway to your manifestation coming through. This is going to be a really fun next phase in your life. Okay, so you got the card of storm, and it reminds me of a time where I had to make some difficult decisions that also included other people. And Spirit was telling me, like, okay, you are this storm for them in their life, and it isn't necessarily bad. It is just kind of shaking things up for them to show them what is possible for them as well, and how you are living your life. That's kind of inspiring. Just by you doing that, they are kind of activated in a way of their own potential to also make tough decisions, because maybe they were people pleasing before, right? They didn't think that it was possible to step up for themselves in that way until you did it. And then they were shown like, oh, like they are doing that, so I can do that too. That's kind of the message here. The unveiling. I feel like you might be checking in on them as well. Looking at old pictures and yeah, just reminiscing about the good parts. But that also makes you see like how different you want it to be and how possible it is to also have that experience with someone else. Like, for example, if you're dating someone and you have all these plans of things that you want to experience with this person, and then like it doesn't work out and you stop dating each other, but you could also like do that thing that you really wanted to do with them, with a friend, for example. Like, you still get to do the fun thing. It doesn't depend on that person. You don't have to wait to still do what you like to do, right? There are more options out there. So if you wanted to make like a fun trip or whatever with this certain someone, you can still make the trip. You can still do what you want to do. Unconditional love. You are just learning to love yourself more through this experience and giving yourself permission to do the things that you've always wanted to do. And I just want to remind you, like, that is so beautiful. Yeah, it just feels so loving and exciting and a little sad, but so worth it. And I feel like there are so many beautiful things that you get to experience because of this. You're just not waiting anymore or compromising. It's just like, okay, I get to like do fun stuff now. Like, this is what I want. Let's just make the plans and start doing it and see what else is possible. Transcendence. Yeah, you're just discovering new parts of yourself and life and moving on, and yeah. Luminous path. I feel like you're inspiring a lot of people while going through this, even though you might not even be seeing it, because you're just choosing you, right? Stepping up for yourself. But that is enough to inspire a lot of people who might not have felt like they had that power within them. But you are an active example of how you could see things differently or go about this, to not compromise, to live your dreams, right? So be patient with yourself. Have fun in the process. Don't hold yourself back. Like, go for it. Don't wait too long. Take those opportunities that feel really good, that feel joyous and inspiring and make you curious. Wishing you a lot of luck with this. Sending you love, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your reading. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So immediately before I even got started with this reading, I kind of felt this really sad, doubting energy. I was like, okay, I hope Pal 3 is doing okay. It kind of feels like you have lost faith in something and you're really like, why didn't it come through? Why didn't it happen for me? So to start off with that card of the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. I always think that that is actually a very encouraging message, to be like, you have no idea what's to come around the corner. Like, divine timing is at play, and sometimes we try to outsmart the universe. It's kind of a tough love message, but like, whenever I am doubting my manifestations, like, I love to get this card to be reminded, like, okay, don't try to like control the situation and do everything yourself, because then you're just playing God, right? I do believe that we are all God, we are all part of God, we are all one. And so that is kind of mixed messaging, but yeah, sometimes you don't know why something is happening because you don't see the whole picture yet. And I feel like that is just the place that you're in right now. Not to be mean, but like, there is so much that can still happen for you. And I also believe in divine protection. Yeah, shadow waters and the Knight of Wands. You were so like excited for this thing, or like so willing to put in the work and to just do whatever it needed to make this manifestation come true. And then just something went totally different, or just did not turn out the way that you wanted to. And just your willingness and your bravery for like going full force for this, that is so inspiring and beautiful. And I love that energy. It's just, yeah, that is definitely what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like it would have been a waste of your time. And you might know why, or you might not you might not know why, because it might have been like the plan that you've had for years, right? And now it was like time to take action. And for some reason, or maybe this happened again and again, it just did not work out. I feel like this is meant to be. And I hate that for you, because the things that we want and the way that we want things to turn out for us, like if you have a certain vision that feels super exciting and amazing, and you're like so sure about like wanting this, and then it falls away or it doesn't work out, like that can be such a hard pill to swallow. And yeah, I just want to make sure that that is also pointed out. Like this is pretty hard, right? Shadow waters, it's like you are now finding out why it didn't work, and you're also finding out why it would be a waste of your time. And I feel like it has to do with the potential that you have within you. This energy of like being committed, going for it, like having this motivation, having the drive, and yeah, just being so passionate about what it is that you want, that is precious energy, and that needs to be put towards something that is worthy of your time and attention and your energy. And I feel like for some reason, what you were going for wasn't that. And maybe you kind of felt that intuitively somehow, or you're just now finding out, like the puzzle pieces falling into place. Just like you like dated someone and then you felt like something was off, and you then later found out that he was also like already having a girlfriend or something like that. That just happened to me. So it might feel like a shock to you, like a shock to the system. If you take my example, that definitely was shocking to me. But not completely, because I felt something was off. And so you might be kind of lying to yourself a little bit here, because you like on paper it should have worked out, right? But then you already felt like, yeah, but for some reason it's not really it. And I feel like you are now just having to admit that to yourself. Also because it didn't work out, or this is something that you already feel like it's just not going the way that you want to, and you just kind of need to find the courage to be honest to yourself about it. And then we get back to the card of the key to prayers to forget what I think that I need. So can you let go of the situation as it's going right now and how you think it should go, and for life to just show you what needs to be shown to you in this moment? And so maybe we want to like close our eyes a little bit longer for the truth because it's uncomfortable, but you know that eventually you will figure it out, right? And yeah. 10 of Cups. That was such a dramatic sigh. Sorry. This is like my excitement for you and my relief, because the 10 of Cups is such a good card. I feel like if you're letting go of this and you are finding out like why it didn't work, it frees up so much space and it will feel really good, because on some, like intuitively, your soul already knew like this isn't it. You might have learned a really important lesson here about your worth, why it wasn't worthy of your time and attention and your energy. And so then you get to discover like what it is that does make that difference, that like what would make it a good investment. Everything is an investment, right? You get to choose where you want to put your time and attention in. Love, energy, and value those things, your time and your energy. It is valuable. This card also wanted to come out. Interesting. So while you are letting go and discovering why certain things didn't play out the way that you wanted them to, I feel like you are going to meet so much support. I feel like family time or doing fun things, going on a holiday trip or exploring somewhere, you are just going to feel really free and elevated almost. It's so funny because most of the time when I've let go of things that I thought I wanted, it just freed up this space mentally, but also like energetically. And I could just feel this weight lifted off of me, especially when these things were just not aligning, weren't for my highest good. Meaning like it wouldn't have been a good investment. I just made a video about what how to handle the most like what the fuck just happened moments. And there I also talked about like if you create the space for better things to come in, those things will come in, right? It's all a lesson. And it's a lesson to empower you. So how has this been empowering to you? You might have felt like, what the fuck just happened? I thought that this was going to be it, or this is not how I thought it was going to turn out, or I thought that I wanted this, but it doesn't feel right. What now? Trust me, if you let go, you will be met with better options. But as long as you keep like the door closed because you are so fixated on this one thing, you cannot see the other doors that are also open for you. So it's a matter of being open to your fullest potential. Like you don't even have to know yet which doors are also open. As long as you like let go of what doesn't serve you, the next steps will present themselves to you. That's all. It's a balancing out of energies, right? If you create space, it can't help but be filled. And as long as you ask for something better, that is what the universe will give you. And you don't have to be like even really specific, but because you are finding out like what you don't want, you will also feel what it is that you do want. Receptivity. Yeah. You get to receive what it is that you really want. This Ten of Cups moment. And that can also, yeah, I love that. I wanted to say this could also be like enjoying the moment, being with family, going on a trip, just relaxing, having fun, not having a care in the world, and you get the card of laziness. Intensity. It must have also really been intense, this whole situation. Like there might have been this shock to the system. You also got storm, right? This intense energy. And so maybe like letting go and just enjoying is just what you need. And I love this for you because then you also get in this receptive state where you get to find new ways, get inspired just by following your joy. That only creates more joy. And surrendering, being receptive to other outcomes, can show you like new options. That is how the universe, our intuition, communicates with us, through inspired action, through inspiration. And so you can pray for the best possible outcome without having any detachment on how it's going to look or feel or be. Just trust. I love this. Just trust that whatever you need will come in the right time, because you are so supported in this. Like the reason that this didn't go through is because you are so supported. You are protected. And you already felt it within your being that this wasn't it. It's just difficult to surrender and wait for something better. That can be really frustrating, right? And so that might be the reason why you wanted to hold on to this. But now that you have surrendered, because you were shown like, even though you really wanted this, it was just not going to work out the way that you deserve. That is showing you what else is possible and maybe even making you feel relieved, right? And then the next steps will present themselves to you. The Emperor. You deserve something stable, something that's going to last. Like I was talking about investment, right? Why would you invest in something that won't last? Investments are only worthy of your money, your time, your energy, which is also something you can invest, if it's going to give you something in the long run. Otherwise, it isn't an investment. It's just a waste of your time, energy, or money. The Ten of Wands and the Four of Wands in reverse. I'm going to keep it reversed because I feel like this is the message of if it's draining you, if it's not feeling good, it's not your Four of Wands moment. The Four of Wands is like celebration, manifestations coming true. If it's not that, if it's not, I feel like I just keep repeating myself. Like if it's not worthy of your investment, if it's not feeling like this, like your manifestation coming true, it's not worthy of your investment. And so we can settle for things that kind of feel like our manifestation, or like mentally we have made up that this is it while we feel like it isn't. And that is just going to take up space that is going to not leave any room for your true manifestation to come in. It's just a temporary, when I hear waste of your time, it's a temporary waste of your time for that to fill that place that actually should be filled with what it is that you really want, and which feels way better. And so the universe is actually just saying like it's safe to let go. You have been doing such a good job listening to your intuition, following through on it, because maybe you felt that something wasn't right, and so you already let it go, or you took some time to question it and to explore why it didn't feel this good. And so the universe is kind of telling me like, good job for doing that, for trusting yourself. You've been doing what's right for you, and it's okay to now relax and just receive, let go, to trust, to catch your breath from this intense experience of this crumbling down. It's not easy, right? You don't have to pretend that it's easy. The Master. Okay, so you first got the Master, and so then I asked like, okay, why is the Master here? To me, this represents learning from disappointments, becoming wiser. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like, you had this dream, you were suppressing all the ways that it didn't really fulfill you. Like, it was kind of this burden. Or, yeah. You just kind of pretended that it was better than it actually was. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. And so admitting that to yourself, that's heartbreaking sometimes, right? But you already like moved through this. It's just about giving yourself the space and time to, just enjoy life right now, to not think about this anymore, to just dream up new plans, move forward, to trust, have fun. And that's creating change. And you've already set this change in motion. You can be so proud of yourself for choosing something better. And that will give you more wisdom. It has already given you more wisdom. You have been able to listen to your intuition. You are training your intuition. You are trusting that you can trust it. And like seeing what happens if you follow it, because now you know why, right? Those are those moments where we can be surprised, like, oh, yeah, I kind of already knew this. I should just listen to my intuition. So maybe you have, and you've like discovered on your own, like why it didn't work out, or you were shown while you were already feeling it, but maybe you like resisted it, wanted to sit it out a little longer, then you found out, right? That either way, there's no wrong way to do this, but it's like you can trust that voice. You now know what that feels like, right? If your intuition is speaking to you. Ocean Cradle. Yeah, just let yourself enjoy what you have right now while you have learned from this, feeling more mature, feeling wiser, tapping into what it is that you really want, because now you get to discover what that is I always talk about contrast. The contrast of what we don't want to happen shows us where we can still grow and what we actually want to experience. So let the contrast just teach you what that is, right? Contrast isn't necessarily a bad thing. Unconditional love. yeah, you're just in this loving space where you enjoy where you are right now, showing up for yourself with love, spending time with, like I had the feeling of family before, but maybe friends or your chosen family. And I feel like you're only creating more of that environment. Like these people that you really love to spend time with. Maybe you're meeting new people because like now you know how you actually want to feel and you resonate with something different, or you're exploring options. And you're just stepped into this loving frequency of like, I know what it is that I want. I'm not going to settle for anything less. And I'm just going to love myself the most because I deserve it. Inner strength. Yeah, you're wiser now. Like, this happened for a reason because you were not stepping into your full potential, settling for something that wasn't worthy of your investment. And so that gave you the inner strength to now really go for what it is that you really, really want and what you really, really deserve. I also feel like Spirit is wanting me to let you know, like, you really do deserve this. Yeah, you really do deserve better. You're not crazy. Keep following that path of your intuition, because your intuition will lead you to where you actually belong. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, like the Queen of Cups is really tuned into her intuition, to her emotions. She also gets visions. And so you're being encouraged to listen even more to your intuition now that you've kind of have practiced listening to it. 5 of Wands. You're also being encouraged to not get into, I'm hearing petty arguments that are not like worthy of your time. I feel like it might be, like, drama can be entertaining, right? But in the long run, is it worthy of your time, your energy? Like, what are you gaining from it? Because sometimes it's best to just detach, remove yourself from it, and be silent, to just not engage, because it won't lead you anywhere. Also, listen to your intuition here. Like, if you need to step up for yourself, do so. And also, like, do show the world the real you and how valuable you are. You can show that off, right? To set the tone, to not take any shit. But don't get into the drama, because then you're investing your precious time and energy in places where it doesn't really belong, right? Ace of Cups. Do speak your mind. Let others know how this stuff like makes you feel if someone did something wrong or overstepped a boundary, or you're just really confused, or someone made you confused. Like, talk about this, try to get clarity if you need to, or closure. Either way, you are worthy of expressing your emotions, and be discerning, and also value your emotions, because as long as you stay true to you, others cannot help but like see that you are coming from this place of authenticity, and they cannot really say anything about that. If you are wearing a mask, right, or keeping it in, that is the energy that you will be met with. And so as long as you are being vulnerable without the drama, right, that will really help you get closure and work through this. So to not get into the drama, but the Ace of Swords, to just say it like it is. Like, be honest, be truthful, stay true to you. Don't get into the drama. Just express your emotions without making it into like their problem. Just say like, okay, you made me feel like this, because that is something that someone cannot really say something about, because you are experiencing it like that, right? 7 of Swords. I don't like that card. The 7 of Swords talks about someone who is sneaky, who has an alternative motive. So my camera battery just died on me. So we're recording on my phone now. I'm actually pretty surprised about the quality of this. It's pretty good. So maybe I'll change to my phone. I'm not sure. I just pulled this card and I was talking about like, I don't really like this showing up here because it's about someone who is not sincere, who has alternative motives or is like playing a game to protect themselves, they think. Because like, I'm not sure if you know, but like energy comes back around, so it's not really useful to behave in this way. And I also feel like it's just a reminder to be careful, to trust your intuition, but to also think about how you are showing up if you are playing games. And like, sometimes we are just avoiding stuff that needs to be looked at or talked about, and it's actually really important. So just a reminder to be discerning and to respect your feelings, to just like honor them again, honor your feelings, honor your worth. And if you got the devil as well. Don't play games, honey. Don't play games because it's not worth it. The devil speaks about short-term satisfaction. And again, like investment will come back to you if it's a good investment in the long run. It's about long-term investments. And having fun is so important. But what is it that you really want? Is this going to get you to where you really want to be? Or is this just for the moment? Are you really being honest and true to yourself and others? Why is the Seven of Swords here and the Devil? I feel like you just have to have some uncomfortable conversation where you decide that you don't want to be in this energy anymore. Or you are calling someone out who is playing games or using you for short-term satisfaction. And you are just like, sorry, but this is not how we roll. This is not what I want. You might have been thinking that this was something that you wanted, and so now you are just changing up on them to be like, sorry, but no. Made up my mind, or this is just not working and I'm just seeing it now. Ooh, and you get to have a change of heart, right? Just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean that you have to do the same. And just because you have been doing stuff a certain way doesn't mean that you always have to remain that way or stay the same, if that makes sense. Because choosing you, like, this is the card of courage. This is the card of being on your own for a little bit. Choosing you. This is choosing you. Honestly, I'm getting a little bit confused by this reading. I just feel like there are a lot of facets here that you need to uncover. I feel like there has been a way where you were downplaying yourself by not looking at the truth fully. And you're now just figuring out what the consequences of that is and how it can be better to stop bullshitting yourself. Sorry for the tough love. I just feel like it is kind of the energy of making excuses because that short-term satisfaction is really nice. I'm not sure what this is, but there is this pattern of you trying to maintain something that is not supposed to be maintained, and to just be on your own for a little bit, because that is real strength, to figure out what it is that you actually need and what would be a good investment. That feels really important. Like, what is that long-term investment that you want to make that feels really good and isn't this old energy? This one also wanted to come out. It was reversed in the
the pile. It is about setting yourself free from expectations, and finding real freedom. So look outside of the boxes that you have been put in, that you have placed yourself in. Stop lying to yourself that this thing was actually a good idea. And again, sorry for the tough love, but I feel like it is so valuable when people show you where you are still hiding parts of yourself, and like where you are not making full use of your potential. And I feel like there is so much more that you can do and be and feel. I feel like you are, in a way, only making use of some parts of yourself, while there's actually way more that you want to explore and experience. And I feel like that can happen, but you need to be true to what it is that you actually want, and to like really open your eyes before you can find this freedom. And again, that makes me want to look at this card of like, forget what you think you need, let go. And letting go is scary, right? But being on your own and finding the courage to choose you, to step out of this old patterning, because you already know deep down that it's not the right thing for you. Only when we do that, we make space for that which does feel good, what does resonate, and what is meant for us. But you will only meet that if you let go of the old, because otherwise it's just filling up space. And that space is there to be filled with something that lights you up, that makes you excited, that makes you feel fulfilled. Mostly what will make you feel at peace is what I'm hearing. And this will only happen if you change the way that you've been doing things. And you don't have to know how or what, like how. Just keep pulling more cards because there is so much here. But I think that the main message is just like, you cannot be doing the same thing because you already know that it isn't working. It's just about admitting it to yourself and then creating this space for you to accept where you have been and to see where you want to move towards. And that is really scary. And you're still kind of doubting if you may do that, if you can become, if you can become this new version of yourself, to give yourself permission. Inner compass, divine spiral. But I also feel like it's all working out for you. It's like the universe wants you to see this truth. Otherwise, you would not be listening to me saying this to you, right? You would not be ready to even hear it. So there is a part of you that it's like, okay, I want something different. I want something better. I want to change things up, but I'm not sure like where to start or what is just not right for me anymore. But you are being guided. Like the reason that you're watching this is because you're ready for that. You're ready to change it. Inner compass is just like, listen to those nudges, your intuition. You've already been doing that. Divine spiral. Just like nature creates these beautiful things and patterns, the universe cannot help but guide you on your path to your own truth, to where you're meant to be. So just keep listening to the inner compass. Be true to yourself. That feels the best, right? Sometimes when am like lying to myself about stuff, I know somewhere that it doesn't feel right, but being honest about it hurts even more. But then when I am honest to myself, it's so freeing, and it feels better than lying to myself. But it takes like courage to take that step, right? To be like, okay, I'm done closing my eyes. I'm ready to open them. It's going to be painful, but then when you come out of that hermit mode, you see the truth for what it is. You'll like, let this go. You don't need this, mother. Like, it's going to be so rewarding. Familiar hearts. Yeah, you're going to find the places that do resonate with you. You're going to receive the intuitive information that you need to show you where you need to go, open channel. Like, you are going to be this open channel if you are opening yourself up to receive by like being lazy, enjoying life, following that inspiration. And let your heart guide you to the right people, places, and things. I feel like that's what you've been doing, and I feel like that's what you will be doing, as long as you are not trying to control the situation or playing games, lying to yourself. I think the best thing that I've taught myself is to always be honest with myself, just because I recognized that when I was brutally honest with myself, I could grow the most, and I would find the places where I would fit in and I did belong and where I wanted to be. It is tough, it's painful sometimes, but it's so rewarding. And it just puts you in this place of power because you don't stay too long where you like don't belong or are not appreciated. Or if something feels off in my life, I investigate and then I change what needs to be changed as soon as possible as I find out. I don't hang around that long in those places because I know that something better is out there. And the longer I stay somewhere, like, it's not worthy of my time, my energy, or money. Like, it's not a good investment. Okay, I just feel like I've been repeating myself over and over again. It's going to be such a long reading, but I hope that this helped in any way to give you the courage to step up for yourself, to lead a better life that is fitting, and to be open to new opportunities, new dreams, new people. Yeah, sorry for the tough love as well. It's not wrong to stay in these places a little bit too long, right? It's just, that's our comfort zone. That is so human of us to do. You are learning that it's not worthy of your investment. And I'm like so glad that that is the message that I got to channel for you today, because that means that you will find better, bigger and better things for you, and you deserve that. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to receive everything that you want. That is the best for you and everyone involved, right? So I really hope that you like this message. Let me know how it resonated. I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.